Okay, so tonight we're going to start with breath. We always do. But this breath that we're going to do is a version of alternate nostril breathing. You might be familiar with that, where we breathe in and out different nostrils in order to balance the hemispheres of our brain. So we're going to do only one part of it to begin. We're going to do the part that will stimulate our brain and help us focus. And then at the end of class, we'll end with the version that just calms the mind. So you're going to want to take your thumb and your pinky, and your thumb is going to be working the right nostril, pinky. And so this first part, we're only breathing in the right side and out the left. So we're going to start by plugging the left side and breathe in through the right. And then switch over to the left and breathe out. Switch to the right and breathe in. Left side, breathe out. Continue going over to the right now. I'm going to let you go at your own pace here for the next couple of minutes. You can close your eyes, breathing out of the left and in through the right. That nice ujjayi breath, that deep ocean sounding breath. Breath is nice and slow. Do a couple more rounds here. Next time you're over on the left side, you'll breathe out one last time. And then just place your hands on your knees and keep your eyes closed. Just notice how you feel. Maybe I should have warned you guys to have some tissues handy too. I'll give you a second if you need to wipe your nose, and we'll just meet on our back, laying down. When you're ready, you'll bend your legs as you're laying down, feet on the mat, and we're going to do a little bit of mindful movement. I've really been loving this mindful movement, this cross-body action that I've been teaching on Sundays lately. And we'll start here with bringing the left leg up as you bring your right arm up and back. So you'll just extend that leg as much as you can. It doesn't matter if it ends up being straight. And then you'll exhale, releasing it all back down to the mat. And then inhale the right leg, left arm, and exhale, release it down. Going back and forth here with your breath. Your goal is to match the movement with the breath. So you're moving the arm and the leg the entire inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale to release. Do a couple more rounds. One more time through. Okay, just let the knees knock together. Maybe close your eyes and take one breath here. And then we'll do something similar. We're going to have our feet lifted off of the mat, though, knees at 90 degrees. And you're going to do the same thing where you extend the left leg from this position and bring that right arm back behind you. Try to keep the low belly engaged so that you keep the lower back down and it doesn't overarch. And then we'll exhale, release back to that starting position. Inhale, right arm extends as much as you can. It's okay if it's not straight. And left arm back. Exhale, release back to that starting position. And continue going there with your breath. Again, trying to match the movement with your breath. Moving slowly, and you should feel those legs working, hip flexors, abdominal muscles, all working together here. Let's go one more time on both sides. And then release your feet to the mat. Let your knees knock together again and take a breath here. Let's bring our arms out to a T and make sure your feet are hip width apart. You're going to drop the knees over to the right on your inhale. And on your exhale, then bring the knees over to your left. And if you'd like to bring your gaze in the opposite direction of the knees and take the twist through the whole spine, you can do that as well. So knees to the right, looking left. And then exhale, switch everything. But you can also just keep your gaze straight up towards the ceiling as well. One more time to either side. And then we'll bring the knees back to center, gaze back to center. We're going to take a reclined butterfly, so feet together. Now, if that's too intense for you in the hips, you can always place pillows or something under the knees for support. Or if you need to, just extend the legs long. That's okay too. We're going to grab opposite elbows up above the head. Try to keep the ribs from flaring up. So engage the belly a bit. We're going to take 5 deep breaths. On your next exhale, you're going to release everything long. So you're going to reach the arms above you and your legs long on your mat, pointing your toes. Reach and stretch on your inhale. And then moving into half moon, you're going to walk everything over to the right side of your mat. You can separate the arms shoulder width apart or maybe grab opposite elbows again. Try to keep both hips and both shoulders down on the mat. If you want, you could even cross the left ankle over the right if that feels good, taking that stretch a little deeper into the left side. Try to keep the low belly tight still so the low back isn't overarching here. And we're going to take 5 deep breaths. So I give you breath counts throughout this class because it helps you stay focused on your breath, clearing your mind. And I always say the key to walking out of here feeling relaxed and refreshed is that breath. Staying connected with that breath for a whole hour does amazing things for our body. So on that 5th exhale, you're walking everything back to the center of your mat. And you're going to inhale, lengthen in the center again, and exhale over to the left. Taking whatever options you did on the other side, maybe grabbing opposite elbows, maybe crossing the right ankle now over the left. Keeping your shoulders and hips flat on your mat. Slight engagement in that low belly. Take 5 deep breaths. On that 5th exhale, walking it back center. Taking another inhale to really lengthen here. And then you're going to exhale your knees into your chest. Grab a hold of each knee with each hand, and you're going to take some sacrum circles. So taking those knees around in big, giant circles in one direction. Let's go around one more time. And then we'll switch directions. So 3 times around the other way. Okay, and then hugging those knees into the chest. We'll start to rock a little front to back, coming up to a seat. Now I'm going to turn and face you, but you can just stay facing forward. We're going to sit cross-legged and set up here for a twist. So inhale your arms up, really stretch, and then exhale to the right, looking over that right shoulder. Sitting up really tall. Make sure you're sliding your shoulders down away from your ears. One more inhale here. And one more exhale. And then we'll inhale back to center. Reach up, stretch, and exhale, twist to the left, looking over your left shoulder. Right hand can help you twist. Get a little traction there for that twist. One more inhale. One more exhale. Then we'll inhale back to center. And exhale your hands to your shoulders. We're going to do quick twists here with a breath that's similar to our Kapalabhati breath that we do at the end of the Bikram sequence, that ch, ch, ch. So those quick, forceful exhales and the inhales just sort of take care of themselves. Only you're doing this through your nose. So it's and moving with the twist then. So you can keep your eyes closed or open. You can keep your gaze straight ahead while you're twisting, or you can let your head follow along with the rest of your spine, whatever you're more comfortable with. So we'll start with a big inhale. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Just stay with your hands on your knees, eyes closed. Notice how you feel in your body. Take some nice deep breaths. And then when you're ready, we'll go ahead and meet in child's pose. So sitting back on your heels, big toes touching, knees about as wide as your mat here, so you can reach yourself forward, try to sink the chest down towards the mat. We'll bring our forehead to the mat. So maybe you need to lift your hips away from the heels to get there. That's okay. We're going to take 8 breaths here in child's pose. Feeling that rib cage move in all 4 directions here. These last few breaths, maybe reach the arms out a little bit longer. More of an active posture here, a little bit of pressure into the palms. On that next exhale, push yourself up into a tabletop position. So we want to have our shoulders right over our wrists and our hips right over our knees. And a little bit of an outward rotation with the hands, I think, is a little more comfortable on your wrists. So your pointer fingers are pointed straight to the top of your mat. And fingers are nice and wide. We'll do a little cat-cow here. So inhale, drop your belly, tilt the pelvis forward, reach your chest up, look up. Exhale, push the ground away, suck your belly in, look towards your belly. Inhale. Exhale. We'll move through about 3 more rounds with your breath pace. Try to match that movement with the breath. Feeling a huge stretch from your belly up through your chest on your inhale. Huge stretch along the back of the spine on your exhale. We'll do 1 more round. And meet with a neutral spine. You need to sort of restack the joints. You can here. Then we're going to do a little bit of balancing work. So bird dog, you're going to inhale your right arm to the side of your head and your left leg extends out behind you. You want to keep your hips squared. So if you had a block, you could even put your block there if you wanted on your hips. It would stay. You're not rolling that left hip up. The left foot is flexed to help with balance, and you're engaging Uddiyana Bandha, the low belly, to help with balance. If you want more of a challenge, you can lift your right toes a bit off of the mat. Stay here and breathe. And we'll lower everything down to the mat and do the other side. So now we're inhaling right leg, left arm. So that right leg is engaged, foot's flexed, belly tight. Push into your right hand and left knee. Maybe take that challenge of lifting the toes from the mat just a bit and hold and keep breathing. And we'll release down and back into child's pose. Take 5 breaths. On that 5th exhale, you're going to tuck your toes, press into your palms, and come up to downward dog just for a moment. So you can pedal out your heels a little bit here if you'd like. And then we'll inhale the right leg up nice and high and exhale, swing it through, plant it between your hands, and we'll drop the back knee and come into a runner's lunge. So come up, tuck your tailbone a bit to come down. You're going to feel a lot more stretch in your hip flexors if you can keep the tailbone heavy and low belly engaged. And the left toes pointed straight back behind you as well. And your hands can just be on that front knee for support. We'll take one more breath here, and then if you want to move a little deeper into it, you can. So you can bring your hands down to the mat, or maybe even your elbows down to the mat. Or if you need an in-between point, you can use your block, placing your hands or elbows on the block. And you can allow that right knee to swing out wide a bit. Just take some deep breaths. Keep those left toes pointed straight back behind you. You want to keep a nice long spine, so try not to round yourself forward. Think about pulling that chest forward. One more breath here, and then we're going to take it into a twist. So our left hand is going to plant on our mat or our block. Right hand on top of that right knee, and you're looking over the right shoulder behind you. Two more breaths. And then on that second exhale, you can come out of your twist, plant both of your hands, and tuck the back toes to step yourself back to downward dog. Maybe pedal out the heels again. And when you're ready, inhale that left leg up high, point the toes, stretch, and then exhale it through. Drop the back knee and come up. Set up. So we want to come up, focus on heavy tailbone, belly tight, to come down. Back toes pointed straight back behind you, hands on the knees for support. Let's take a couple breaths here first, and then we'll move into it a little more. So you'll set up now, coming down a little deeper, however you did on the other side, but always observing those differences from one side to the next. Observing without judgment, just noticing where you're at today in your practice, how your body feels in each posture. We'll take one more breath here. And then come up so that your right hand can plant on the mat or on your block, left hand on that left knee, looking over your left shoulder. We'll take one more breath here. And then exhale to come out of it. We won't come through downward dog here. You're just going to come back on that right knee, and your left leg will extend out off of the mat in line. That heel is in line with your right knee. We're setting up for gate pose here. So left hand can stay on that left leg for support. And we'll bring our right arm up, really lift it up with your inhale, lifting that rib cage up and away from your hip bone, and then exhale over, pushing into the right knee, keeping your right shoulder rolled back. We'll take one more inhale. On your exhale, you're going to bring your right hand down in line with that right knee and left heel. So you can, again, use your block or whatever support you have there with you today. And then we're going to slice the left arm out in front of us and bring it to the side of the head. Push down into your left heel. Reach out through your left fingertips. So really feel that stretch on the left side of the body, pushing down into the floor with everything that's connected to the floor. One more inhale. One more exhale. And then we'll inhale to come up, switching legs now. So left knee will come underneath that left hip, right leg out to the side, and right hand on that leg for support. Inhale, reach up, lift, lengthen through the left side of the body, and then exhale over. Your gaze can be wherever you need it to be for your neck and shoulders to be comfortable. So if you're looking straight ahead or maybe even down, it's up to you. Just create a big side body stretch. Roll the left shoulder back. Push into that left knee. We'll take one last breath. And then we're going to inhale. Come out, setting up left hand on the ground or your block. And then we'll slice that right arm out into the side of our head. Nice long line from your right heel out your right fingertips, really stretching and lengthening there in the right side of the body. One more inhale. One last exhale. And then we'll inhale back up and exhale into child's pose. Take 5 breaths there. Taking this opportunity to do a scan through the body. Notice how you feel each time we come into child's pose here tonight. Hopefully each one you're feeling a little bit looser, a little bit more relaxed. Use your breath to release any tension. On your 5th exhale, you're going to tuck your toes and come into downward dog again. And if you'd like to pedal out your feet, you can. We're going to step our right foot forward, turn the back foot coming up, setting up like a warrior 1. We're going to move a little bit here with this warrior. So it's not going to be super important how low you come down in your lunge necessarily. When we bend the knee, we're inhaling and opening the chest and creating a back bend and looking up. So focus more on that part of this and less on trying to get down into your lowest warrior ever. So you'll inhale, doing that, bending the knee and coming into your back bend. On your exhale, you're straightening that front leg, reaching your arms out long in front of you, bringing your palms to touch and tucking your chin towards your chest and rounding yourself forward. So inhale, bend the knee, open the chest, and then exhale, straighten the leg, round yourself forward, palms touch. Inhale and exhale. Inhale, exhale. Let's do 2 more. And then inhale, come back up. We're going to just turn towards the back of our mat. So left foot leading now. You're going to inhale, bend that left leg, open yourself up. Exhale, palms together, straighten the front leg, round yourself up forward. Inhale. Exhale. Move with your breath here. Feel that heat you're creating in the body with your breath and your movement. Let's do 2 more. And then we're going to inhale, turn towards the left side of your mat. We're going to set up for a wide leg stretch. So we don't necessarily care how much of a stretch we're going to get with this, because this is more of a restorative yin style type class, right? So we're not going to necessarily come down into our greatest forward fold. You're just going to slide your hands down the legs. I want you to take a little bend in the knees and come down as low as you can. And you can hang if you feel a little bit better to have some support. Maybe you can rest your elbows or your hands on your block or your pillow, whatever you brought for support. Maybe you're able to bring your forehead down to that support and keep your hands on your feet. You set up however you're able to hang out for a little bit here. Keeping that soft bend in the knees. This is more about getting the benefits of the forward fold, having the head below the heart, calming our nervous system, and less about stretching our hamstrings right now. We're going to take 3 more deep breaths. Try to slow these breaths down, each one more than the previous one. Now on your next inhale, we're going to come out of this slowly. I want you only to look up halfway, keeping your hands down on the ground or your block for support. And then you can slowly come all the way back up. And we're going to come into child's pose again. Once you're down, take 5 deep breaths in child's pose. Again, trying to slow the breath down. Paying extra attention to the exhales, trying to make them longer than the inhales. On your last exhale, you can work your way back up to a seat. You'll need your props here for this next bit. So we're gonna come into a supported forward fold. So for me, I have a block and I have a bolster. So I would set up here so that I can lean forward. You're going to need to find how far down you're able to go and where your support needs to be. And you're going to have to figure out too, if you don't have a block and a bolster, you could have your pillows underneath you, roll up your towel so it mimics the bolster, and place that either in a similar way. It might not work as well because it won't be as firm to lay on, so that might not support you once you come down into it. You could also take it across this way and lay down, maybe even lay down like this if you're unable to fold very far forward. But I want you to just find what works for you to be supported as you're folding forward. And so we're all going to be looking towards the left to begin, and I will give you a cue then to switch your gaze to the other side. And if you need like a blanket, or you could even roll up the back of your mat to place underneath your bottom so that your hips are up a little bit, that might make your forward fold a little more comfortable as well. But we're going to stay here for 10 breaths on this side. You can close your eyes if you'd like. If you need to use your hands, you can use your hands to help you sit up, and just switch your gaze now over to the right, feeling completely supported, able to release and let go, and taking those 10 deep breaths over on this side. After those 10 breaths, you'll sit back up. You'll move your supports away from you. We will need them a little later on. And just cross your legs and sit up nice and tall. Notice how you feel. Take 3 breaths here. So, after those 3 breaths, let's extend our left leg, bring your right foot in, and we're going to do a single legged forward fold. You might like to have your block or something handy here. If you're able to rest your forehead on the block, or maybe even stacking 2 fists so that it's raised a little bit more for you, or even on that leg if you can't come forward too much. But find where you feel like you're challenged, but you're comfortable. You can hold it here for a while, happily, with a smile on your face. Taking those nice deep breaths, maybe bringing your awareness into the subtleties of the breath, like those spaces between the inhales and the exhales. Let's take 5 deep breaths here. It's common as you hold this stretch and breathe deeply that you might find you're able to come down a little lower into it about halfway through. We'll go ahead and slowly come back up and switch legs. Right leg will extend now, left foot in. Placing that block in a similar position as the other side. You're going to fold forward, try to have your head supported. If you're unable to have your head supported on something, just relax the head, let it hang. So making sure we don't have any tension in our neck and shoulders here. And starting with those 5 breaths. And remembering that you're not stuck in whatever position you chose. So if you feel like you need to back off at any point, totally just back off. That's fine. If you need to then come a little deeper after a while, that's fine too. It's okay to move a little bit here. We do want to try to find where we're comfortable and hold, but it's okay if you need to move. And slowly work our way back up. And we're going to come into butterfly. So you want to bring the soles of the feet together and open the feet up like a book then. Try to release the hip flexors and let the knees fall towards your mat. If you need support, your blocks or pillows under your knees, that's okay. We're going to be here for a while, so you want to make sure that you're setting up so that you're comfortable to hold. So maybe you just stay here in butterfly. If you feel like you have a little more in you to go, you can lean forward, finding a place to relax over the legs. Maybe putting your head on a block again, or stacking 2 fists, or the block could even be on your feet with fists stacked. but find where you can hold. Let's take 8 deep breaths. On your next inhale, slowly work your seat. In butterfly, we're going to take a twist here. So inhale, reach up, and exhale, twist to the right. Inhale back to center, reaching up. Exhale, twist to the left. Inhale back to center. Exhale, release the arms down, release the legs from butterfly. And then we're going to come into a wide leg stretch. So I'm going to turn towards you again. You don't have to, but you're going to bring your legs out wide and bring your block or support to the center. And you're going to reach forward. You're going to come down and you're going to find where you can relax into it. And we'll hold here for 5 breaths. Your next inhale. Work your way back up to a seat. We'll keep our legs wide. Again, this is a good place. If you need it, placing a blanket or something under the hips to sort of get that pelvis tilted forward. Sorry, I didn't mention that earlier. Um, bring your block or support over to your left leg, and we'll bring our right foot in. And we're going to bend to the left and have your elbow supported on that block, head supported by your hand, and then reach up and over with the right. And you can relax if you're able to, if you have a block and you're able to rest your elbow on your block and having that arm here isn't putting tension in your neck, then that's fine. If you're on a pillow, it may not be as comfortable, so you can just lose this part of it and just keep your arm down, or maybe bind behind the back or reach for the foot. We're going to take about 3 more breaths on this side. Feel that big stretch here on that right psoas. And we'll come on out and switch. Right leg will come out long. Left foot in. Block to that right leg. Elbow on the block. Head supported by your hand. Inhale, left arm up and over. So just imitate whatever you did on the other side. Take 5 deep breaths. And we'll slowly come on out of that. Place your block off to the side. We're going to come into a supported Shavasana, I guess. Don't know what the technical term is, but you're going to take, so with my block and my bolster, this is what it's going to look like for me. So your bolster, what's supporting your spine is at an angle here. So you can use a couple pillows underneath here if you don't have a block, and you can use that rolled up blanket to place in place where my bolster is. So we're going to come down. You'll bring your bottom up against, I'm going to slide my back here so I'm not off of my mat, but you're going to bring your bottom up against your bolster or blanket. So scoot all the way back to it. You can use your hands to keep it there while you lay back. Take a minute to reposition if you need to. Make sure you feel supported and comfortable. So we'll bring our legs out long, and we're going to end with the opposite breath that we did from the beginning of class. So we're still using our thumb and pinky. Now we're breathing in only on the left and out only on the right. So you can close your eyes, plug the right nostril, and inhale through the left. Switch and exhale out the right. Switch and inhale left. Exhale right. We're going to do this for a few minutes. I'll let you go at your own pace here. Always breathing in on the left and out on the right. This is to calm our mind, calm our body. Just another minute. You'll take one more inhale on the left, and you'll end with that last exhale there on the right. Go ahead and place your arms on either side of you, palms up towards the ceiling. And you can stay here supported for your Shavasana, or if you want to take the pillow out from under you and lay down on your mat, that's fine too. We have a couple minutes here built into class for our Shavasana. So we're going to stay connected to our breath. We're going to release control of it though and allow it to become natural, soft, maybe breathing into the belly, but still paying attention to that breath, noticing where it is in your body, noticing the lengths of the inhales and exhales. Feel the difference in this breath, breathing shallowly into the tops of the lungs now instead of using the lungs to their fullest capacity. Feel the heaviness of your body melting down into the ground. Begin to wiggle your fingers and toes. Or if you'd like, because you're at your house, you can stay in Shavasana as long as you want. But namaste. Thank you guys.